What is up, ladies and gents? We are back for another reaction video. This time we are going to be checking out the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, I might add. The official release date trailer. So this was a little hidden gem that was announced on the recent PlayStation Summer Showcase. We did get the huge news that they're remaking Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, but we're actually going to be getting a port, I would imagine, of some of the original games. So we're going to be getting Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. The Metal Gear Solid game will include all the VR missions and stuff as well from the core game. So we're going to get about 4 or 5 games. Now, I don't know if they're going to be remastered. I can't imagine they will be. But I'm hoping the port will at least contain things like trophies, bring stuff a little bit up to date. Maybe we'll get some concept art, some of the audio in there, because the Metal Gear Solid audio is fantastic. Hopefully there's a couple of little quirks to it. We're going to find out when this one's going to be released. Hopefully it will give us a little bit more than just you can now play it on PS5, because I don't think that's going to be worth £40 or £50, which is the price tag that they're looking to set it at. So without further ado, let's check out the trailer and see what we're in for. But Metal Gear Solid is my thing. I love it. Oh, damn. You got to wait for the 24th of October, guys. It looks like it's coming out on all platforms, so not just PS5, which is good for people that haven't played Metal Gear Solid before. It's one of the best games to ever release on PlayStation, in PlayStation history, and I'm not just saying that. The reviews are up there, the support is up there. It's one of the most spoken about games of all time, so we're getting a very decent chunk of the collection in the Volume 1 Master Collection. Do I pick this up? I don't know. It's coming out on Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam. So you can actually get it for PC as well, which is really cool. This is exactly what you're going to be getting in that collection. So you've got the original Metal Gear Solid. That includes the VR missions, special missions, like I said. The HD collection version of Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. You also get the screenplay book, master book. Same with Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid 3. And then you've got Metal Gear, which is the very first ever Metal Gear Solid game. It comes before Metal Gear Solid. The Metal Gear Solid line is kind of like the timeline is kind of like the Terminator timeline. It's all over the place. It's really difficult to explain to people in which order to play these games. But Metal Gear comes first, then Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, and then you jump into Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, goes on like that. And then some of the later ones are actually prequels as well, so it's kind of like trying to get your head around it, but they're great games. My personal favorite is controversial, probably the second or first one. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is an absolute classic. Not many people like the second game, but I really enjoyed it. It's because you play most of the game as a different character, and then Snake kind of comes in beginning and end. But I liked the set pieces, and I could just remember playing it on PS2, and I could just remember like Metal Gear Ray. I could just imagine all the fight scenes and stuff, all the different sections of the bosses, fighting Fortune when you just can't hit her with bullets and stuff like that. It was just revolutionary for the time, and it's the same with Metal Gear Solid really on PS1. That was also an absolute classic. I can remember getting the official PlayStation UK magazine, and this was a demo in there on one of them. And I said to my dad, I was like, I need this game. I need to get hold of this game. And because it was like a 15 or an 18, and I was like 9 or 10 at the time, I just couldn't get it. And he just said to me, look, I'll get it for your birthday, Christmas or whatever. And then my birthday rolled around a few months later, and there it was. He didn't fail to deliver on his promise. But the games were absolutely amazing. I'm not one really for stealth games, but these are absolutely fantastic because they give you different options. It's not just about stealth, although it kind of is. The main way the game would like you to play is stealth, but you can pretty much go in guns blazing on a lot of the sections. There's some really fun boss battles. The voice acting, even when I look back at it now for the time, was absolutely stellar, and I think I'm really looking forward to just going back and reliving some of these. The Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake games, quote me if I'm wrong, but they were, I think they were on like the Master Drive or whatever it's called, the Nintendo. It was like, it's all blocky, it's all pixelated, it's not you know, the kind of level that you're going to get with these three at the top. And most people are particularly familiar with these three. A lot of people probably haven't played these two, but these essentially come first, then you've got these three. So some of the, you can get away with playing these games though without playing the older ones. This is the thing. But as you get through the timeline, the later games you play, if you start by 2, for example, then 3, you won't understand a lot of what's happening because a lot happens in the first one and vice versa, all that kind of stuff. Looks like we're getting some bonus content as well. A couple of graphic novels, soundtracks there, which is amazing. So, depends how hardcore of a fan you are. And for me, I've still got my PS1 and 2. So it's very easy for me to crack these old ones out, but these are incredibly difficult to get hold of. So is it worth getting it for that? And then you've got your graphic novels as well, which is pretty cool, and the soundtrack, which is just phenomenal. So you've got a few little bonus bits as well. And it looks like you can get the Japanese version. Yeah, the what's that? The FC NES version of Metal Gear as well. And then you've got Snake's Revenge, which is another separate game that came out on the original Nintendo Master System. So there's a lot in there, to be fair, and I think if they're going to pitch it at £40, I probably will bite the bullet and get it, especially if there's going to be trophy integration in the game. So for example, if I can go back and play Metal Gear Solid 1 and start earning trophies for little things, then yeah, I probably will get it. But if I'm not going to get trophies from any of them, it's only these two that have got HD sort of rendering on them, but they were on the original games as well. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. But either way, come around this time, whether I get this collection or not, we will be playing through at least Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, and 3 Snake Eater. We'll do it as a little bit of a series on the channel. So stay tuned, guys. But this is really cool for people that haven't owned a PlayStation or haven't heard of these games before. They are probably one of the centerpieces of PlayStation. When you think of PlayStation, you think Lara Croft, Crash Bandicoot, Kratos, all those types of names, but this is one of the original trilogies and one of the original franchises that came out on PlayStation that absolutely laid the line for the genre. Not only the genre of the game, but just the technology at the time was unprecedented. And there's just some stuff even in the first game in Metal Gear Solid where you had to use like a code on the actual case of the game to call a certain person. I won't spoil too much. And then there's another boss battle where you have to use your second controller to beat the boss, because the boss can read your mind if you're using the first port controller. Stuff like that. It just wasn't around at the time. It was just absolutely innovative, and it just immersed you as a gamer and as a player. So it set the bar, and the bar really hasn't been kicked off that much since then. So they are groundbreaking games. So either way, I will be doing them on the channel, probably closer to the time if I don't pick up the collection, but I'm probably leaning towards I probably will get it. I probably will. I'm just going to say it. I probably will end up buying it. As it gets closer to the time and more hype comes out from around it, and I see some more trailers and some more details come out, I'll be like, yeah, take my money. I'll buy it. They're great games, and I want to have them in my collection anyway, again. So let me know in the comments what you think, guys. Are you going to be picking this one up? Don't forget, this is available on PC, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch as well. So you've got no excuses to not enjoy this one if you don't own a PlayStation. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you looking forward to this, or are you going to pass? Thank you for checking me out, guys. Take care until the next video or stream. Your host is out of here. Peace.